Alright. I am back here again to finish showing off my Tames. And of course my new hula dance emote. So, first off, let's finish up here with the new guys I got today. We have a new Pulmonus Scorpius Stella, who I got obviously just because it's an impossible to hide Technicolor marvel. So I'm going to park it here with all my others. And then of course we have these two new Rexes, again, caught because they are brightly colored. Let me just get rid of this Dillo. Okay, so we have Vicious, who's definitely going to be good breeding material. Very nice and red with white and gray coloring. Then we have Delilah. Haven't really found any like solid blue Rexes yet, even though I'm kind of hoping to. But this one is, I think, a really nice color combination of like red, blue, and orange. So I'm definitely going to be breeding her a lot. And as you can see, I have my expansion here almost complete. I just have to put up a ramp for that door there. And then finish putting on the ceiling for this section because it's missing some ceiling. And then this part of the expansion will be done. And it will probably stay that way until I need more room again. So what I'm going to do in a hot sec is I'm going to drop off basically everything and use my bed to warp to my other bases and show off the rest of my Tames. So we're just going to finish doing things. Just going to drop everything in Zesty. Alrighty. Just drop this off real quick. Alright, so we're going to start here in my base near the southern cave. Alright. So I did name this one, so we have another Dimorphodon named Viper Wing. I'm not sure if it's a color morph or not from the event, because it does have very atypical colors, I would say, for the creature, because it does have like not neon bright blue and neon bright red, but it does have pretty strong colors. Then we have this Mesopithecus, which I haven't named yet for some reason. Oh dear. Named it Chimpy after the Banjo-Kazooie character, because why not? So yeah, this is my cave base. If you go, do I have a flyer here to show you? Probably not. Anyway, if I did have a flyer to show, basically if you go that way a little bit, you'll reach a shoreline that goes off into the jungle, and there will be a cave there, and I have been meaning to explore and do all the important things there, and I just haven't had a chance to yet. I haven't named either of these either, my goodness. A lot of Tames here that I have not named at all. I would like to put saddles on them, but I'm not sure if I have enough materials, so I need chitin, fiber, hide. So do I have chitin, fiber, and hide? So I do have fiber, and I do have hide. Do I have chitin? Not nearly enough. Let's see if I have some in another one. Anyway, I'm going to name those in a hot second, but yeah, I probably don't have any more chitin, do I? Nope. Unless I have some in the workbench, but I don't think I do. I do not. Alright, so I cannot give them saddles, but I can give them names. So what are you? So I have two boys. I'll name this one Waterwing because, if you didn't know, the main benefit of the Pelagornis is that they're about as fast as a Pteranodon, but when you ride them, if you saddle up, you can land on water, unlike most other flyers that can only either land on solid ground. So a lot of people think this is kind of useless, and I don't know. I mean, for a seasoned player, maybe it might be, but I've always found that it's beneficial to just be able to land wherever you want, so I do kind of like that. They can land wherever you need them. So we're going to name this one Breambeak, because a bream is a sort of saltwater fish, if I'm not mistaken, or at the very least it's a kind of fish. So obviously it would be one that eats breams. So we have Sheila here. She's got some very nice dark black coloration. She'd be very good for breeding. I just haven't taken her back to my main base yet. And I might do that. I might take her there on foot. Haven't decided. Let me make sure everybody's fed here. Nobody's being fed here, my god. Alright, so what we're gonna do this is Gibari, by the way. The Phiomia is very nice dark black coloration with some very nice pink splotches, and I do enjoy that a lot. We have two Patchies here. I haven't named both of them. I'll name this Little Lystrosaurus Frumpy, just because it's not very pretty, but I do like having them around to boost my my Tames. Named this one Porky for obvious reasons. because even though I know they're called phomias, it's easier to just call them pig. Did I even name this? Dumpy. Okay, Frumpy and Dumpy, I named them to rhyme. So this one's named Punchy. Did I name this one? Maybe. I don't know, either way, Patchy's a fine name. Then I have this, oh dear, I have something else named Stella, don't I? I have, this Tex Stego. These are pretty good for harvesting berries, so I'm going to show you how to do that. Not very fast, but, they can deal some damage. They also can change their spine, so this is heavy, this applies slow. So if I attack something, it'll go slower. I'm very bad at aiming, I guess. There we go. Then they have this one, which has attack up. As you can see, I'm also gathering berries as I do this. That's the only bad thing about traveling by bed, is you can't really bring anything with you. But I don't really need to harvest anything spectacular here anyway, so... Anyway, so these are good at gathering berries, thatch, wood. Basically, the only thing you can't harvest with these guys is stone. They're pretty good at soaking. They can take a hit when they're in their defense mode. And yeah, they're not bad. They're pretty good early and mid-game tame, but I don't really use them for much lately. The only problem is they do go pretty slow. By the way, this is a Hesperornis trap. Basically, it's the easiest way of catching those little goose things is you attack them, you lead them up out of the water into this, you slap on another, I think it's a fence foundation. That's a wood railing, okay. And then you keep it there while you go hunt for fish to give to it. And it's way easier than trying to give it fish and chasing it around in the water. I think some things eat rotten meat anyway, so I'm going to leave these in there just in case. I don't know why I'm gathering poop. I don't have any composting bins here. Anyway, so we have a beacon, which I named because number 1, it glows in the dark, because it's a tech parasaur. Number 2, it's kind of like a watchtower. It keeps a lookout on things at base, so I know if anything's in danger or not. Anyway, we have 2 patches here. If you didn't know, you can basically use them as a knockout mount, which again I don't need much use for right now because I do have lots and lots of trank arrows and stuff back at both my other bases, so I don't necessarily need anything that does that, but if you're in an area of the map early in the game that has that, that's always a good thing to have. Anyway, so then we have 4 of my theories, 3 of which were caught here. So we have Effie, that I named because it was an effing pain in the butt to get. Then we have Gandalf, who I named because he's got pretty nice white silvery plumage and skin, so I think he'd make a very good breeder. Then we have Murder Bird, who I named because when I was taming it up on that hill over there, it killed a bunch of other things I was taming up because I didn't notice it was there. Then we have Terror, and he's basically my first ever wait, Terror isn't... Oh, Terror was my first ever tame, not my first ever mutation. That's right, the first ever mutation would have been Murdoch, which is at my other base. But yeah, so these are, I think, one of the better all-around tames in the game, because number 1, they're herbivores. Number 2, they're like really strong. They can shred basically anything. I think like the only thing I would hesitate to put them up against would be Rexes, unless you're how to put this, unless you're imprinted and it's a pretty high level. But as you can see, they gather a fair bit of everything. They gather lots and lots of berries. They gather, if you use right click, you can gather lots of thatch and fiber. If you primary click, you can gather a lot of wood. And yeah, because they're pretty tanky and pretty strong, you don't really have to worry about basically anything hurting these guys. So I always feel like as long as you have one of these guys, you're pretty safe. So I'm going to drop off my haul. And I think that would be everything I have at this particular base. Because again, this was mostly just supposed to be a temporary outpost for me to use going to and from the cave, and then I just didn't get around to it. Because before I went in the cave, I wanted to make sure I had bug repellent, because I didn't want to be under threat from everything and anything. But I needed obsidian for that because I needed some way to harvest hair and fur and pelt because I didn't have any at the time. Because I'd never really been to the snowier parts of the island. And because of that, I basically just said, okay, I was going to make a quick trip down to what ended up being my northern shore base to just get some obsidian and go back, make scissors, and then plan for my main base, and I ended up just staying at the North Shore at Forest Peak, so actually I probably want to make narcotics with these just because I can. Everything else can go. Alright, so I think I showed off everything here. Like I said, I don't have much. So we have Stella, the newly named Waterwing and Greenbeak. We have Viper Wing, who is the little Dimorphodon inside. I have newly named Chimpy, who's on my shoulder. We have Frumpy and Dumpy, the Leicestersaurus. Is it Leicestersaurus? I think they're Leicestersaurus. Murderbird, Effie, and Gandalf, and Terror, my Theres. Punchy and Patchy, my... what even is the full name, or are they just called Patchies? I guess they do just call them Patchies, which I guess means you don't have a name. I'm gonna name her Bumper, like a bumper car. Obviously, I haven't been back here in a long time because none of these have any skins on them. So yeah, as I'm sure a lot of people know, raptors are pretty good and pretty fast land mount. I think the only thing that can really compare would be the saber-tooths. And as far as I know, the main benefit of the saber-tooths is that they are like insanely good at getting hide. And I think that the main benefit of these guys is they get more meat. I'm not sure. No, they just kind of get all around just whatever, but not very much of anything. So, I mean, again, if you're early in the game, these guys can be easily just stopped with a bola and tranked out with 1 or 2 trank arrows, fed up with meat that I don't even think you need narcotics for them most of the time, unless they're like really, really high level. So, again, early in the game, if you need, something to protect you, and a pretty decent fast land mount, I would say definitely go for this, but I would also say you're probably best left harvesting your kills yourself, because I think even with the primitive axe and the primitive pick, you would end up getting more of whichever resource you're going for with those than harvesting with the raptor itself. So I'm going to pray there aren't piranhas here. I can see Nidarians out there. again, I'm basically helpless right now because I am without any weapons. I do have a bunch of other raptors, so losing Sheila and this Mesopithecus is not going to be the end of the world, but I would rather not. Also, Nidarians, by the way, if you don't know, you can usually just, if you don't have a Basilosaurus, and you need to clear like an area of Nidarians because you're like trying to dive there, or they're by like a drop and you want to get to it without being bothered because they can and will stun lock you. The best way I think to go about it is to use a crossbow, and you can use any arrow. I think it's a shame to waste trank arrows, but if you have like a lot of narcotics, then it doesn't really matter. And yeah, you just shoot them from underwater until they stop being alive, and then you can just go and harvest them up, and then you can use the biotoxin. Yeah, then you can use... Oh, I might want to tame that, hang on. Oh, no, stop. Stop. Oh, okay, well, never mind. I used a neutral instead of passive. That's a pretty neat coloration on this guy, though. Red, black, and kind of grayish. Oh well. So I think blush is the one that's furthest away, so that means there's going to be more stuff to murder up ahead. But yeah, this is my quote-unquote main base, even though it's not near anything useful. So I'm going to either get or make a torch. Alright, looks like we're doing pretty good here. I might take some of those eggs back with me to make kibble. But yeah, let me get a torch and I can start introducing you to my main tames at my main base. So... that's not it. Oh, I have wood in here though, don't I? I do indeed. Alright, we're here. Welcome to my kitchen. Oh, we have egg papa. I'm sorry, I have to meme. If I don't meme, I die. I don't have fiber. I haven't been here in so long, I forgot what everything is. Wood. Projectiles. Nope. There we go. And this would go in. Nope, not fiber. That one. Oh, there we go. Great. So yeah, my base basically started right here. I woke up over there, made my way over here, and started this with thatch. About the only part of it that remains would be obviously these things. These crates are actually probably the original too, but those, this area, and yeah, I think it stopped here and had a flat ceiling before. So yeah, so you've seen egg papa. Here are my indoor tames. I do need to breed these guys again. This is Avery and Annalise, named after Friends' original characters. And we have Caden, who I think is also named after Friends' original character, but I basically just asked the friend to name them. And we have some Dimorphodons here. We have Silverwing. We have Lady Dimitrescu, even though there's nothing resembling Lady Dimitrescu here. Then we have Tweety, obviously, because it's a bird-like creature. And we have my Hesperornis, which I need to breed again. I'm trying not to inbreed, but they're a pain in the butt to tame, so I might just do that. We have Bitch, because it was a bitch to tame. We have Bastard, because he was a bastard to tame. And we have Fish Gobbler and Jacques, their two sons, who get normal names because they weren't absolutely unbearable to imprint and raise up and stuff like that. So then we have Diddy, obviously named after Diddy Kong, which reminds me, let me drop Chimpy here. And then we have these Pagomastax, Pagamastaxes, or Pagamasti. I don't even know how you would pluralize them. But people kind of tend to hate these things because they just pickpocket you, and yeah, like in single player and PvP, they're kind of annoying. Probably even in PvE. I think they're just kind of annoying everywhere, but they do have uses in PvP because you can set them to pickpocket other players, which can be kind of fun. But yeah, so we have Littlefinger, because, you know, tiny fingers slip into pockets easy. Sticky Finger, because obviously if you have sticky fingers, you're a thief. Pogo, because this one jumped at me out of nowhere and stole my stuff. And then Nose Picker, because how do you get sticky fingers? You pick your nose, haha. I'm the funniest person I know. Anyway, then we have Nightwing, who I think has some pretty neat colors. Again, I'm not sure how much of that is naturally occurring, because I think most of them tend to look more like this, where they're brownish. Or like when they have colors, they're more muted, like, you know, like the green on this, but yeah, not too bad. I do have this war map that I set up. It does have locations of obsidian marked, even though it's basically just find mountain, and there you go. Because remember, I was planning on it just being a short trip, and it was not. Anyway, I was planning to make this a bathroom, but unlocking and building a toilet ended up being not something I could accomplish when I was building at this stage. I might actually demolish a lot of this because some of the things are misaligned, the snap points. But, I mean, I haven't really noticed, so I might keep it as it is, but yeah, it's pretty empty. I was going to have like a banquet hall up here with a lot of wall torches and stuff. I have lots of windows so you can see out into the distance. Obviously, if this was a PvP, it would be better if it was a stone or a metal base, but I don't know how you'd get one this big and not get raided, like, instantly. Unless you had, like, the biggest tribe on the island, this would be really hard to defend. But, if you did, you could definitely shoot at people from here. That would be pretty good. But yeah, so that's all my indoor tames, and that's the inside of my base. I have my garden down here, which I'm surprised is even still alive. A lot of these are dying, with a good reason, because they don't have fertilizer. Which I should do. But you're kind of not here for that, are you? You're here for the tames. So let me just really quickly make sure I don't have any other stuff, and then I'm going to take care of my important crops first. These crop plots were not laid out the best anyway, so I can't really say I'm like too sad about them not having crops in them anymore. But these big crops definitely need to be taken care of, so. So I'm going to drop these off where I need them, and then we'll continue with the tame tour. I need to put meat here so bad, my god. I probably need to put both meat and fish here. So I'm going to do that a bit. But I know where we're going to start here. So we have Murdoch, who's my very first mutant. I think also one of my very... No, he's not 100% imprinted. Wow. Anyway, as you can see, he has that lovely mutated red stripe down his back. Of course, with the event going, you can probably find one in the wild that looks like that. Then we have Butch and Cassidy, his parents. There's actually a really cute story with both of these. Because back when I tamed them up, which would have been on that southwesternmost island there, I found them together, and I caught one of them in a trap, and the other one worked so hard trying to break them free, and it was very cute. And so, since they were male and female pair, Butch was the first name that came to mind, and then Cassidy, because that goes with it, even though I'm not sure Cassidy is supposed to be a girl name. But yeah, they were basically inseparable, so I caught them together, and I kept them together. So I think we're going to try and stay as in order as possible. I'm going to try and go quick so that I can just get them all taken care of and go back to my main base. Because it is about the time when people start waking up, so I don't want to be bothering anybody when they go to work. But yeah, this is Roseo-chan, named after the giant koi fish or goldfish in the 6th One Piece movie, for reasons. Then we have Itchy. Then we have a lovely coelacanth that I'm going to punch to death, please. Come back. Come back, I need fish. Come back. Anyway, we have two other ichthyosauruses that I tamed recently. They will spawn in this area of the Footpaw when you're not around. They were a bitch to tame up even though they were blocked in by the Behemoth Gate because they fast. I guess we'll just go through these guys. So then we have Silver Claw, named obviously for the silverish chromed legs. We have Mythic, who I think was one of the best color combinations I could have hoped for. I would obviously like it for it to be more gold with that nice red coloration, but hopefully once I breed him, he'll have a decent chance at passing that on to the offspring so that I could have basically solid golden body with that red coloring. Then we have Techie, my uncreatively named first tech parasaur. We have Spacey. I'm starving. We have Spacey, who is named for that sort of chromed, dark look with that green sort of tech lighting. Let me drop off the rotting meat too to make narcotics for this base. It's daytime, so I can turn the torch off. We were on Spacey, I think. Oh, by the way, Toothsome and Videl were the first two raptors I caught. Videl being the first, Toothsome being the second. They are a breeding pair. And then we have, again, Spacey Bladed Blue, that I named because they have that very nice blue and that lightish blue coloration. I guess I'm just going to leapfrog over. Then we have Sky, who's that very nice sort of light blue. Even the sort of dark chromed parts are also kind of blue. Then we have Sapphire. And Darling. Darling, I think, is a child of Sky and Techie. Then we have Mimai, who's named after the I think they were called Greylings or something? I don't even remember. From Bot and Kaitos, the video game. I'd have to look it up again. Then we have Chopper, named after Tony Chopper from One Piece. It was my first Megaloceros that I tamed in the Redwoods. Then we have Puppy, who I named because, if you don't know, the what are you even called again? The Diplodocus, they're basically, they can't deal damage at all. They can just kind of send you flying. Then we have my rows upon rows of Moss Chops, and we have Lady Lux. We have Blue, even though he's very much black. We have Macho, who has Joker makeup on. Mossy. Gordo, who I named because he's chunky. Marie. Doggo. Manchi. Gordito, I think, is Gordo's son. Brownie. Swish. And Earthclaw. We have Mona, who I think I've cut already. We have an an ungodly amount of Dilophosaurs, so I'm going to get to those in a bit. Buddy. Elizabeth, I think, is one of my first Leicester Tames. And we have Christmas, who's obviously named for the bright colors. He's got red nose, bluish kind of spines, bright green body. Paris, who's named after the Pokemon. Ducky. I think Ducky's wearing more paint because I don't think this is Ducky's natural color. Who's obviously named after the Paraolphus in Land Before Time. Pearl. Pete. Rosalie, who I think I named for... No, wait, am I on? Who am I on? Because I'm not on Rosalie. I might be on... Grace is the other one. Who are you? Oh, I'm on Pete. Why am I on Pete? Let me just leapfrog my way out of here. Pete, Rosalie... I guess it's a pinkish body that we have. No, this is Rosalie. Who is this? Okay, that's Pete. Okay. Yeah, I think Ducky's Pete's child. Yes, Pete and different Parasaur. Maybe this is Grace. Duckling, who I think is Ducky's child, with Roseo. And then we have Blush, who has like these very faint pink colorations to their underside. Oof, let's go through the absolute abomination of all my dinos. So we have Virus, we have Blue Flame, we have Bitey, who might be... No, Bitey's just wild. Bitey. Huntress, I think, is a child of... Maybe Bitey? No, Grayla. Okay. Huntress, I think, is one of a few triplets. Mossback, I think, is wild. Obviously, you can bring back. We have Midna, named after the Queen of Twilight, Twilight Princess. One second. I'll be back in a minute. Alright, we're back. Sorry about that. So Grayla, that would have been Huntress's mom, if I can get her out of the mix. Yep. It is very nice, sort of like beigeish gray and purple color. Min is wild, I think, yeah. It says this is red, but I'm not sure it is. Oh yeah, this is red. Which again, before those true red ones showed up, this was about the reddest I found in the wild, I think. It's also got some nice purple spinage. Red spike for obvious reasons. Goosey, I think, is a sibling of somebody. Dark venom is wild. And I got somebody I didn't ask. Anyway, this is Forest Foot. He has green body, greenish feet. Actually, he has red feet. No. Thanks for pooping right on camera. Yeah, Grayland, Dark Venom, so this is one of the triplets, I think. So, Goosey, Huntress, and I think it's going to be Brigadier. They have a third sibling, but I'm not sure which one it is. I don't know if it was an event or what, but I did get 3 from 1 egg, so if I find the third one, I will let you know. Here's Dark Venom again, that's their father. Yeah, what are you doing? Come on. Greenie, I think, is also wild. Handsome, who I think is also wild. He has very nice, soft green and purple coloration. So I think he's just a generally good looking standard Dilophosaur. Artemis might be the third one. No, that's green line. I want Artemis. Brigadier and Red Speck. I think I named Brigadier that just because they were going to be cannon fodder. But they ended up surviving, so I kept them. Red Spike obviously has those pinkish spines. Red back. Which again, oh, excuse me. Hiccups for no reason. Are you not coming? Anyway, red back. Again, is one of those more naturally colored red ones that you can get. Yeah, I think this is one of the triplets. Yep. 3 of a kind. So obviously I think they're all girls. Yep. So I couldn't breed them together even if I was going to inbreed, but it is pretty snazzy to get 3 that look exactly the same. Green line, the one that was interrupting me before, obviously has that green spike down its back. That's not Shadow. Disposable teeth. Who I named obviously because I expected them to die, and they did not. Screech. Wild Fang, who I think I named because Shadow was already taken, because it has like that very interesting like black, gray, red combination. Oh boy, 3. Screech, Wild Fang, and Bother. Probably because I tamed that one up because it was getting in my way. I ended up punching it out instead of killing it, and so I was just like, nah, you know what, I'll take it. Shadow, who again has a very nice black and white aesthetic going. I was going to use them to breed very melanistic color morphs, and I just haven't been around to do that in a while. We have Neo and Rouge, even though it's not a bat. It just has those very nice red and pink colors. Did I not? Yeah, I thought it was for you to come. Come on. Rust Palm, who I named because they have those reddish palms. Rosie, who I named because, again, that's one of the only natural red color morphs you could get. Jungle Step, who's named because they are green. Razorback, I guess I just named them that because they have those silvery spots. I'm sure I have some twins in here somewhere. And I'm stuck. Let's just do that since I'm not going to wait for 6 hours to get back on solid ground. See, Oreo Queen, I think, has a sibling. So I'm looking for somebody that's a child of Shadow and Midna. That wouldn't be, would it be? No. Mela, who I named because they're very dark and melanistic. Bloodfang, because they're that rusty brown. Flame, which again, I think this orangey color was about as red as I'd ever seen naturally. Daisy. Yeah, Daisy's one of my first ones, though. Rosie, though. No, Rosie's just wild. She does have very nice pink coloration. Daisy. Defender's also wild. I swear Oreo Queen had a sibling, but I could be wrong. And Guile. Anyway, I guess Oreo Queen doesn't have any siblings. I could have sworn she did, but maybe we've already seen them, or maybe they died. I think this would be black, white, green, with a little bit of pink. That could be. No, dark venom. And it's not that. Forest foot, it's not that. Maybe it was quadruplets, I can't think. I don't think so, though, because she has different spines. Anyway, that's all of those. We have Razzie, who's named after raspberries. Chubby Dummy, like named after Chubby Gummy, or Chubby Bunny. We have Carrie. So originally I was going to use these as pack mules, but I ended up doing it Perp Turt, because again they have that very purplish kind of shell. Tort, because Tortle. Carbonara, because they're called Carbonemies. And Turt, because turtle. Here's another one of my moss chops that got out of arrangement. Anyway, these are going to be one of your primary water tanks earlier on in the beginning of the game, because they have, even at low levels, really high HP. Only problem is they're not very fast. Anyway, so we have Berry, Dope, Lizzie, Egbert, and Bonk. Obviously because, these are supposed to be for egg production. And Bonk just because I had to bonk this one on the head several times to make it go night-night. We have Sandy, named for the color. Sarah, named after the Triceratops in Land Before Time. Shador, because this was the darkest color I'd ever seen, until of course I think King Earthwalker over there, who was basically pitch black. We have Trisha, who's a Triceratops T name. King Earthwalker, who's a very nice dark coloration. And then of course Tricky from Star Fox Adventure. Anyway, before I even show you any of my dodos, let's see if we can get up here with these guys. Please. I'd like to be up. Oops, thank you. Egg. Give egg. Anyway, so we have a Green Wing for obvious reasons. Streak, because they have those nice bright red stripes. Frostwing, because they have very pale coloration. We have Tie-Dye Laddie, who I think was my very first, like, not natural color morph. actually not sure. Yeah, okay, he's wild caught. Then we have Pinky too, because I used to have one called Pinky that died. Is it Pinky's child? No, it is not. Mary, just because I needed a name for it. We have Butterfly, who has just these very nice, like, white and gray stripes with those pretty pink wings. Terry, who I think should probably honestly be called Terry too, because I did have one that was named Terry before. We have Tigress, whose egg I can't get to because rude. And then we have Painted Lady, because up to that point this was probably one of the most colorful ones I'd seen. Tigress, of course, being named because she's got like this pink body with black stripes, which I think is very pretty. Obviously, Pteranodons are going to be your very early flyers. You probably don't need this many saddles, but I like having them. Anyway, I love when you open up and there's just people dropping deuces. Can't even not. Anyway, this is Boy Porridge, named for Thursday Plurbanim Boy Porridge, the long Furby. This one's True Red, because obviously this is the reddest one I have. Reggie, because it's kind of reddish. Richter, Redbeard, my name because they have that kind of orange head. Cobalt, because it's a very dark blue. Sapporo, like sapphire. Twin D, that means he has a sibling. This is Rojo, because they have some red coloration. Red wing. This is Blue Balls, because he bluish, and also I think I'm funny. Zorro, who I named because they're kind of greenish, so I named them after Roranora Zorro, after the character in One Piece. We got Small, or Small, if you want to pronounce it that way. They have a sibling here somewhere. Gilderoy, because he's golden, also a bitch. Max, who I think is the child of... No, he's wild. He's the parent of some others. Kiwi, who has like that green body and that red head. I'm just gonna move Twin D, because I think Twin D is gonna be in the other room. We have Red, for obvious reasons, named with 2 Ds after Red the Fox. We have Red with 1 D, for obvious reasons. We have Darkwing, because darkish coloration. We have Dorcas, who's the parent of like so many of my red dodos. I think he was one of my first Tames too. Deuce, who I'm pretty sure is the first son of Dorcas. We have Seaman, which is a pun, but also just because he's kind of that dark cobaltish blue and cobalt was taken. We have Lakeson, who was probably named after their second generation. So Betsy and Tiny. I think I murdered Tiny for leather at some point. And then Tender, who is the sibling of Small. And Perpetrator, because it was purple. And I'm not even sure why I called this Lexan. But he's got pretty nice purple plumage. And then Rusty 2, because I think this is the son of Rusty 1. Yeah. Because there was a point where I didn't have room for too many things, so I culled a bunch of them because I didn't need them and I needed leather. And now I'm figuring out that I could have done 2 birds with 1 stone and tamed Troodons that way. Anyway, these are the girls that I haven't bred in a while. So this is Tender, the sibling of Small. This is Furore, named after the green coloration, like the goddess in Legend of Zelda. You don't even have a name. Then I shall name you. For obvious reasons, because they're green and yellow, and a little bit of blue, and tender lemon. Weird blue, which I named because they have some blue coloration, but just a very weird color combination otherwise. Polly, who I named like a parrot because they have weird pretty coloration. Betsy, who's the parent of some of the other dodos. Sabrina, I guess I have 2 things named Sabrina now. Sabrina the dodo and Sabrina the saber-tooth don't have to know. Egg Factory, who I named because basically their entire point was just to be laying eggs and not much else, because they were really good for breeding. Faba, who's named after the witch, I think the Wicked Witch of the West. Goldie, who's obviously very nice and golden colored. Bronzy, who's wild caught. I was thinking they were a child of Rusty, but they are not. Then we have Perp, who is purple, enough said. Lay, because I ran out of things to name the purple ones. And there are purple plumeries, I think, that they make lays with. Shade, because he's that darkish gray color. She's, excuse me, that darkish gray color. Witchery, again, because dark coloration. Grunty, named after Gruntilda. Lucy, she's not even really leucistic, so I don't know why I named her that. Probably because I run out of girl names pretty quickly. Blondie, I think there's a second Blondie here who's her daughter. Trixie, again, I'm just kind of flinging names at them. Kazooie, who was one of the reddest ones I had, even though she's mostly brown-ish. Lady Lavender, because, again, purple. Lady Silva, and Grace. I'm not even sure what the lineages for half of these guys are. And then these are the ones that I have bred recently. So we have Blondie 2, who I think is the child of Blondie and Gilderoy. Nope, Blondie and Dorcas. Roxanne is wild. I use her to mate a lot of red things because she's the only wild lead caught, so I don't really have to worry about inbreeding. Twindy, who is Twin Deedle's sibling, and Saint All Blue, who I think is wild, and yeah, she just has that sort of very consistent coloration, which I like. And I think, other than the unnamed Ichthyes, who I won't name until I give them saddles, I think that's everybody. Which is good, because my voice hurts. And then Brownie, who I'm not sure if I introduced before. I don't think I did. I think we walked past them before, but we didn't introduce. So yeah, I'm probably just going to drop some stuff off and then go for a hunt so I can fill up troughs. And then I'm probably just going to sleep and go back to my main base. So yeah, this was a little bit faster. Thanks for joining me on this introduction to all of my tames. Obviously, not too many of these would have survived in a PvP server, because I'm not really at all my bases consistently, but again, I just kind of like the ability to collect a bunch of really neat dinos. So Buddy, if I didn't introduce him before, Elizabeth. Oh, I didn't introduce these two either, did I? Wad. Oh, I was going to name Waddle, but Wad kind of stuck. Then we have Miss Piggy, and obviously her mate Kermit. Because who am I to say otherwise? So yeah, I think that's everybody here. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. Again, this was a tour at the request of AmpedUmbreon, who wanted to see all my tames. So yeah, I hope you liked it. So I will see you next time. I used to have this set up. There we go. So yeah, I'll see you next time.